emergency contact? Who should we notify in the case of death? Welcome to the USP. Right now I'm multitasking, right? My life's been, everything's been busy. I went to a marketing accelerator program thing to help try to learn about businesses and marketing and stuff. But these are just some of the things I'm trying to do to better myself, you know, and that's the whole purpose of all this content that I'm making, is just showing people that you can come home from prison and get your life back together. But anyways, this is a USP series, so I know you guys want to get into a USP story. Well, before I came home, you know, maybe about a year before I came home, right? You know, like when I got there in Florence, when I knew I started coming home, I kind of fell back from everything. And for me, you know, I was just kicking back. You know, I smoke and whatever and drink, but I was away from all the gambling and all the other extracurricular stuff that could get me caught up. Because my mentality is that if I'm not willing to put 100% into something, then I should leave it alone. Because everything that you do in the penitentiary could lead up to a confrontation. And if I'm not willing to deal with the funk and all the stuff that comes with all the everything else, then why even participate, right? So we had this incident. Well, there wasn't an incident, but you know, me, like I said, I just fell back. So I'm just doing my thing. I just sit around. You know, I still smoke. I still get high or whatever. You know, depending on what car you're in or whatever. Some people don't allow their homies to freaking get high or drink or mess with punks, and other people do, you know. But for us, it's like, you know, as far as gambling, as far as drinking and all that stuff, like, there's no restriction on it as long as you can handle your business. And through the course of my 20-something years, I've always handled my business. I've always paid my debts. I ran gambling tables. I ran poker tables. I ran dice games. I've been a bookie, you know, and I've always handled my business. I've always taken care of my business, you know. So at this time, you know, this period in time, about a year before I came home, I kind of fell back. I didn't run my gambling tables no more. I didn't run a card game. I didn't run a dice game or any of that stuff. Mainly, I was just, for me, I was kind of almost like in a retirement plan. So I just, you know, I still smoke or whatever. So on this particular day, I'm down in the day room, and I'm watching TV, but, you know, I'm high as shit, and I kind of started, like, you know, kind of nodding out a little bit, you know, falling asleep, because even though I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm still up at 6 o'clock in the morning. When the doors crack, I'm still up, I'm still suited and booted, but I'm sitting there with my homies, you know, a couple with my celly, Omar. He's a black dude out of Detroit. I'm sitting back with him, and I got a couple other homies sitting next to me. So, and they see that I'm tired, right? I mean, I'm high, but I'm also tired from being up and all that stuff. And, you know, I'm kind of dozing off a little bit. And I'm like, man, I better go in my room. But the homie was like, Omar, he was like, man, don't trip, I got you. You cool. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's like my security. They already know that I'm tired a little bit and I'm kind of high a little bit. And they're like, man, don't even trip. We got you. So I kick back and I enjoy myself. I'm watching a movie. And I doze off a little bit. So when I doze off, and one of the times I doze off, when I wake up, the CO is in my face. Say, hey man, what's wrong with you? Right? I opened my eyes, I looked at him and said, man, ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm tired. Oh, you sure? You sure ain't something else going on? Right? And I'm like, nah, man, I'm tired. I'm tired. So, whatever, he burns off. And nothing comes of it. The day we go through the rest of the day and I go upstairs when we lock down, go in my cell and turn in for the night. Well, the next morning, when I get up, a buddy of mine, his name is Michael. He's a Nostra Familia, NF. He lived in my block and, we got kind of cool. We got kind of cool together. So there's been a couple times where, there was an incident where they had this native dude that this white boy had accused of being a rat, right? And, you can't just accuse somebody of being a rat. So I happened to be out in the yard that day with the native dudes, and the white boys were out there. And Michael knew that there was a little funk going on between this native and this white boy. They knew each other from the streets, somebody boning somebody's girl or whatever. So, there was a lot of shit to it that was more personal than just dude being a rat or whatever. But it was never proven that he was. But when somebody calls you that stuff, our mentality is that you better go deal with that shit. So the native dude, they were already at the point of pressuring him to go handle his business because his white boy just slandered him and all that, right? So on this occasion, just getting away a little bit, just giving you a little background of the relationship that me and Michael has. So Michael, I'm just out there getting some sun, and I just happened to be on the yard with the native dude and like 6, 7 other white boys that were the white boys' homies. So Michael comes over. He's on the other side of the fence. So he comes over. He's like, hey, man, what's up? You good? I was like, yeah, what's up? He goes, man, that's that white boy that called this, he's pointing out the native dude that was on the yard with me. I called that native dude a rat, I was like, oh, I didn't know anything about this. I'm out there in the yard just trying to get some sun. So he's like, man, hey, if you need something, I got something over there by the fence under this branch. One thing you have to understand is that there's knives everywhere throughout the penitentiary. Every car, every gang, every group has their own stash. They got them stashed out throughout the unit. They got them all stashed out on the yard. They got them stashed out in education because, everywhere we walk, you got metal detectors. And sometimes you can't just have that thing on you just in case, the metal detector goes off or the CO pats you down. So what they do is they go and bury it out and hide it on different places around the penitentiary. So he comes to me and he's like, hey, I got these things over there, by the track, by the fence, over this branch. He goes, if you need it, it's right there. But, for him, even though he's a made man, he's a member of the NF, Nostra Familia, there's still certain things they can't do. But for him to do that, he's got to be in a position that he's going to stand on it, that he's going to say, hey, I'm the homie. He considered me a good friend, and he's not going to let me be out in the yard getting caught slipping. And he's got enough respect from his people for them to respect his call, right? So, but like again, anytime you jump out there for somebody that's not part of your car, that's not in your gang, it's a potential risk to you. So for him to do that for me, lets me know how he feels about our friendship. And I'm grateful for that. But, nothing came of that day, nothing happened or anyway, but just the fact that he extended his hand, letting me know that, looking out for me, letting me know if I needed something, that I was one, he exposed his hiding spot to me, and two, he crossed racial line to assist me. So going back to what I was talking about the day before, when I was nodding out on down there at the table, the next morning when I woke up, I come down, I'm in the unit, whatever, just hanging out, and I'm upstairs in my, they had called rec move or whatever, and I stay in the block, just hanging out in the block, right? So when they called yard recall for the morning, my Keo comes down to, comes up to my cell. He's like, hey man. I said, hey, let me holler at you real quick. I said, what's up? He's like, man, come in my room. So I go down to his cell, and he tells me that this native dude, his name is Ish. He's got a life sentence, he got a body on the res or whatever, but he's doing a life sentence, right? But now he tells me this dude named Ish was outside politicking on me. He went outside and we trying to tell my homeboy that, oh man, Mason's out there getting high. He's over there nodding out on the table, this and that. He's making us look bad and all the rest of it, right? So, but my homeboy tells him, man, that's Mesa. Man, he can do whatever he wants. He knows what he's doing. He ain't gonna be putting nobody in jeopardy. He ain't got no issues with that. And off top of that, you're native. So why the fuck are you trying to politic on one of my homeboys? We have strict guidelines about politicking on people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna go politic on one of the native bros. Whatever they do, that's between them and their people. Everybody's got different standards. Everybody's got different politics. Everybody got different rules. So he's not in my car. He's not Asian or Islander. So for him to fucking go out there and try to politic on me, the homie's like, man, who the fuck is you already? And brushed him off, right? So when my Keo comes in, like I said, he comes up to my cell and he's like, hey, Mason, man, let me holler at you. He's like, what's up? And he runs down. When it happened out there, he was on the fence when he seen this dude, Cold Buster, Ish, goes over there and try to fucking politic on me to my people. And got the blues because my homeboy Tran, who he tried to talk to, was like, man, that's Mason. He do whatever he want. He speak for us, and he knows what he's doing, right? So Mikey would tell me, yeah, he got all butthurt when Tran just kind of brushed him off and whatnot. So anyway, so I'm in my feelings that I've never had anybody through the course of my 20-something years outside this one incident right here trying to politic on me, and at the same time, I've never politic on nobody. An issue gets brought to me for whatever reason, and I deal with it. But outside of fucking crying to somebody about their homie, this and that, man, I don't do that shit. You know what I mean? If I got an issue with you, homie, I'm gonna come to you and let you know. And if we can't resolve it on man time, then I'm either gonna bust your head or you're gonna bust mine. All that telling on people and crying over shit. I've never been with that, and that's just what it is. So I go downstairs, and Ish comes, hey Mason, can I holler at you? I was like, yo, what's up? I already know already. This motherfucker got a guilty conscience because he's seen people seen his bitch ass out there trying to politic on me. Like, hey man, so if you don't hear from somebody else, I went over there and hollered at your homeboy Tran about what happened yesterday. I said, yeah, I already heard. People already told me. And so he was like kind of like surprised, right? I said, yeah. I said, I don't run native, right? I'm not native, right? But yeah, I said, man, homie, the shit I do right here don't affect nobody. Ain't nobody in this motherfucking block got any issue with anything that I've been doing. You're the first motherfucker in my career that ever tried to politic on me, homie. So what is it? You trying to get my head busted? Man, it ain't like that, man. You just making us look bad. You out here on the table, I said, make who look bad? Make you look bad? You ain't even got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, man, I was like, listen, man, stay the fuck away from me. I mean, if there's an issue, if you really got an issue or whatever, like we can deal with it. But outside of that, homie, don't speak on anything that I'm doing. I ain't part of your car. I don't function with you. I don't even fucking talk to you. You know? Now, you know, part of the reason that I dealt with the situation the way I dealt with it then was because, you know, I'm short, right? And I'm just like, you know, before I was going downstairs after hearing what happened, I'm trying to go through my, you know, my thought process on what I would do, what I want to do. And, you know, my first instinct was to, you know, bust him in his jaw. But like I said, time being short, it was just kind of like, fuck, you know, my hands, I kind of really tied my own hands because I didn't really want to get into the funk to end up hurting this dude and losing my time, which I ended up losing my time anyway, you know, not for anything that I did, but the halfway house refused me anyway, so whatever. But anyway, so you know, when a lot of people, when they get short, and I'm guilty of the same thing, like you kind of like hesitant to handle your business the way that you want to, the way you're expected to, because you know, being down for so long, you're just like, man, I'm just trying to fucking get through this last year or whatever and get the fuck home, right? So, you know, I don't know. I mean, I believe I made the right choice, but sometimes that shit gets under my skin, thinking about that I didn't just went ahead and punish dudes, right? So, but anyway, nothing happened, nothing comes of it, but me being me, you know, I'm in my feelings about it. But like I say, if I'm not gonna do anything about something, then I'm not gonna sit and talk about it and bring it up or walk around with a freaking, you know, do-boy face and all that mean mug and that. I let it go. But before I let it go, I let some of my homies know about how I feel about the situation, you know what I mean? And they're like, yeah, you know. So, ooh, I think I burnt my food. So let's fast forward it to after I got out. After I got out, I had my homeboy that I mentioned before, Stutter Sam. He comes over there he comes from the FCI. We were in Atwater together, but he was in the FCI across the street. But he comes from the FCI. He got caught up in the FCI and has ended up in USP Florence. But I'm already home already, you know. So he calls home, lets me know that he's over there. So I'm like, okay, oh yeah, all right. So, you know, my celly Omar, before I left, you know, he was there when the incident happened with the dude trying to politic on me, right? So when Omar calls me, he tells me, I tell him, I say, hey man, let the homie Sam know about that dude, right? So I don't know if Omar ever relayed the message or not, but when Omar called me back a few months later, he was like, yeah, Sam's in the shoe. I said, oh yeah? I said, for what? He said, oh man, he went over there and punished Ish, right? So there ain't no moral to this story or nothing like that, but it's just like I'm still plugged in over there to the people around me that knows me, know that I'm somebody that is about respect. I give respect. And in return, I get it back. And there's people in there that care about me, that look out for me. Just like there's people out here that care about me and look out for me. And yeah, man, when you jump out of pocket, you know, something might not happen to you right there and then, but you never know who's gonna come along and feel some type of way about how you treated this dude or how you act over here, and you might get your ass handed to you. You know what I mean? Welcome to the USP.